Day 14 of 66 Days to Transform Your Self-Image with Laura J. Wanting to say today's message is going to be short and sweet because I want you to think about your source. I want you to think about the fact that we are resourced when we have access to those resources that we need in order to create that which we desire. And then I want you to think of yourself as a source point. I want you to see yourself to be the individuated expression of the grand overall designer that created all of us. I want you to see that there is a big difference between the dominion we were given over the uncapitalized and unlimited land, air, and water, compared to the specified and limited versions of the same that are implied to be and yet are part of a counterfeit two-dimensional reality that say it is true, and more so even because then it tells our 3D self what to do, based on the fourth dimensional construct of the mind that says, yeah, that's true. This interface that I am using to record this message is now courting me and you to the same point when you view this message that I recorded on this morning. So I want you to start to see that we are resourced because we are the source point that is able to ground that which we desire. And desire with our heart is how we actually sire that which we wish to give birth to. Do you have any idea how powerful you truly are? Probably not. None of us do. Or I should say few, for when we use a definitive, it eliminates the possibility that there is that one exception or few that may have been able to do what seems impossible before we add the apostrophe to make it I'm possible instead of impossible. So today, as you think about your source, and then you think about how resourced we are to be the source point that can ground the desires that were found in our hearts instead of our minds, that is when we find time and space are the illusionary field we are playing in here, where we believe there needs to be a delay between when we wish for it and when it manifests. Because we are the manifestation on this planet Earth, which is heart in a different order. So the breath is the first thing we do and the last thing we do, and the only thing we consistently do in between those points. And so breathe yourself into the now moment and make sure your breath is actually going down to the very bottom of your lungs instead of just the upper half, which is where we breathe when we're stressed. When we breathe all the way down to the base, oh my. That's big information because my throat just went, whoa, no. So, when we breathe all the way down to the bottom of our belly, where the lungs are able to actually expand fully, that is when we actually activate the lower three chakras below the heart chakra. That is where the desires are able to manifest. And yet we need the willpower of the solar plexus. We need the creative energies of the sacral chakra. And we need our sense of belonging in the world and in this place. The world being oftentimes specified to where we gain our identities through. The planet itself is encompassed within the world, which is the construct that contains the people too. So the mental construct of the world and the physical 3D experience of the planet are not the same, though they will be implied to be within the two-dimensional counterfeit version of reality that says it is more real than what is truly real. I experienced the shift between recognizing my online identity had become more significant to me than my physical real life. At the time when my world got real crazy. And I experienced the modern day witch hunt legalized and normalized as the Mental Health Act. And what I've shared since that went down is that it doesn't necessarily take as long as we might think for the Mental Health Act, which is unsubstantiated as I experienced when I was fully sane, just in an elevated and escalated state of awareness that was not discerning with who I shared that information with. There is a big difference between the virtual public domains that claim us through our name and the real life. And when your online identity and those fictitious versions of reality that cannot be connected to without the interface that allows us to face off with a screen or paperwork, when that is a more important reality than the 3D, we have a problem. I experienced it, I saw it in my own experience, and I seem to get to some of these big paradigms before others so that I can experience it and figure it out and then be able to share what I have sifted through, which is what I'm trying to do, and why I want to remind you today that you are the source point incarnate. Every ghost needs a host for the gnosis. Gnosis is the spiritual path that the ghost would tell the host through the channel that we are what to do and how to be, and all of these things we think is from source, but not all light is going in the same direction, for that is the fight between what is real and what is unreal. And when we are truly embodied in them now and in our heart, then we can feel the resonance of truth. And that is where everything changes for us, because no longer can we be deceived by information when we are the dots of light that need to come into formation. We've all been distributed around this place based on our consciousness and our ability to ground the light. We are the source points, here to experience the shift that we came here to lift the veils on consciousness as never has been done before, because the Mental Health Act was previously not so covert as what it is now. And yet, it's not over till the fat lady sings. So they say. But why not just make it when we sing and raise our vibration and consciousness to reach a higher level? And then we be the angels that have different angles of perspective that allow us to see the world in a different way, and also say the world is a construct that is not as real as what we have thought. And when we see the fictitious nature of all of it, it can be really disheartening, disillusioning, and scary, terrifying. It is confusing to say, well, if that was a lie, and that was a lie, and that was a lie, and that was a lie, what wasn't a lie? Well, my heart is what helps me discern the lies from the truth, and yours does too. And as we reconnect with that, oh, we can go so much higher without the substances that get us there instantly or quicker than what we knew how to do before we learned how to use the vessel that transports that source point within us through this reality that we are living as the ones that ghosts need to host their gnosis. For we have the opportunity to actually create our own based on the path that we walked and the life that we lead, because we are here indeed to do it well, together, with love. Laura J. Namaste. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what this means for you, and what you're going to do with it. Thank you.